I love you, bro. There'll never be another one like you.
Eddie Guerrero was at the peak of his career in 2005, a former WWE champion, beloved by fans, and a symbol of redemption after overcoming years of substance abuse. On November 13th, 2005, Eddie was found unresponsive in his hotel room in Minneapolis. He was 38 years old. The cause was acute heart failure. His heart had simply given out. Later reports suggested that past steroid use and painkiller abuse had severely enlarged his heart over time. He had just wrestled days earlier and was scheduled to win the World Heavyweight title from Batista that very weekend. Eddie's death shattered the WWE locker room. Raw and SmackDown became tribute shows.
Eddie Guerrero has passed away.
And stars like Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero publicly broke down during their tributes.
I love you.
More importantly, his death forced WWE to take its wellness policy seriously. The company began doing real drug testing and banned several substances that had been widely used backstage.
I miss the hell out of him. Eddie Guerrero, I miss you, and I love you.
Number 2, Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was considered one of the greatest technical wrestlers of his generation, a former World Heavyweight Champion, Royal Rumble winner, and a locker room leader. Benoit was deeply respected, especially after the loss of his close friend, Eddie Guerrero. On June 25, 2007, Benoit was found dead in his Georgia home, along with his wife Nancy and 7-year-old son Daniel. At first, it was treated as a tragic accident.
Hi, honey. Hi, Dan. Sorry, missed you. I'm trying my cell phone. Okay, bye.
WWE aired a full tribute show, but within 24 hours, the truth came out. It wasn't an accident. Benoit had murdered his wife and son before taking his own life.
Police now treating the discovery as a double murder-suicide.
He was 40 years old. Investigations revealed severe brain damage. His autopsy showed signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, likely caused by years of concussions, chair shots, and high-risk wrestling. Combined with past steroid use and emotional trauma, it was a cocktail of tragedy waiting to happen. The fallout was immediate. WWE pulled all mentions of Benoit from their programming, archives, and websites. The tribute show was scrubbed. His name was essentially erased. The incident forced WWE to take mental health, concussion safety, and chair shot regulations more seriously. It also changed how the industry handles repeated head trauma. Benoit's story isn't just tragic, it's horrifying, and it's why WWE keeps him in silence. Number 3, Owen Hart. Owen Hart was known for being one of the most respected, technically sound wrestlers in WWE. A member of the legendary Hart family, he had the skill, the legacy, and the love of everyone in the locker room. On May 23rd, 1999, during the Over the Edge pay-per-view, Owen was performing under his blue blazer gimmick. The plan was for him to descend from the rafters on a harness in a superhero-style entrance, but the rigging system was changed last minute to allow for a quick release stunt. It failed. Owen fell over 70 feet, landing chest first on the top rope. He was taken to the hospital immediately, but was pronounced dead shortly after. He was just 34. The show infamously continued, and Jim Ross had to announce Owen's death on live television.
Owen Hart has tragically died from that accident here tonight.
WWE was heavily criticized for that decision. His wife, Martha Hart, sued WWE and won a settlement. Since then, she's refused any WWE honors or Hall of Fame inductions, insisting the company take full responsibility. To this day, Owen's death is considered the darkest moment in WWE history, and one that changed the way stunts and safety were handled forever. Number 4, Yokozuna. Yokozuna was a former 2-time WWF champion, best known for his dominance in the early 90s. By 2000, his weight had climbed over 580 pounds, and WWE had quietly taken him off TV due to health concerns. But he was still wrestling internationally. On October 23, 2000, while on a tour in the UK, Yokozuna died in his hotel room at just 34. The cause was pulmonary edema, fluid buildup in the lungs, made worse by extreme weight and long-term stress on his heart. Yokozuna's death wasn't totally unexpected, but it was tragic. WWE began to rethink its approach to super heavyweight wrestlers. His passing, along with others, was part of a slow shift away from pushing size over health. In 2012, WWE posthumously inducted Yokozuna into the Hall of Fame, a move that brought some long overdue recognition to one of the most unique big men. Number 5. Umaga. Umaga, real name Eddie Fatu, was one of the most dominant stars of the 2000s. He had a long, undefeated streak, main evented with John Cena, and was one of the most physically gifted big men of the era. By 2009, he had been released for violating the wellness policy, but he kept wrestling, recently performing on Hulk Hogan's Australian tour. On December 4th, 2009, he was found unconscious with blood coming from his nose. He suffered 2 heart attacks before being declared brain dead. Cause? Acute toxicity from a mix of painkillers and anxiety medication. He was 36. Aftermath. Umaga's death was a brutal reminder that even with a wellness policy in place, danger didn't stop outside of WWE's walls. He was family, literally, to the Usos, Roman Reigns, and the Anoa'i dynasty. WWE didn't give him a tribute show, but his legacy has quietly lived on through his family's rise to dominance. Number 6. Crash Holly. Crash Holly, real name Michael Lockwood, was known for bringing comic relief to the Attitude Era, especially during the chaotic 24/7 hardcore title days. He was a tag champ, a fan favorite, and known backstage for his good-natured spirit. In 2003, shortly after being released by WWE, he was found dead in a friend's home. Cause of death? A mix of prescription painkillers and alcohol, officially ruled as suicide. He was just 32. Even though he wasn't on the roster anymore, Crash's death shook WWE. He had still been wrestling, still active, and had many friends in the company. It highlighted how little emotional and mental health support there was for talent, especially after release. WWE began slowly offering more transition programs in the years following. Number 7. Lance Cade. Lance Cade had all the tools: size, look, and athleticism. A former tag team champion and protege of Shawn Michaels, he seemed poised for bigger things. But in 2010, just a year after his WWE release, Cade died of heart failure at age 29. Reports stated that he had been hospitalized after a seizure and was trying to get back into shape for a return. His heart simply gave out. His death didn't get the same attention as others, but among wrestlers, it was personal. Cade was a well-liked, promising talent. Behind the scenes, it sparked more conversation about long-term damage from performance enhancers and painkillers, and how easily young stars could burn out. Number 8. Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman was known as the loose cannon, unpredictable, intense, and always blurring the line between fiction and reality. He was in the middle of a high-profile feud with Goldust in 1997. On October 5th of that year, he was scheduled to wrestle at Bad Blood in Your House, but hours before the show, he was found dead in his hospital room. He was just 35. Cause of death? Undiagnosed arteriosclerotic heart disease, meaning his arteries were severely clogged, likely from years of stress and steroid use. During the paid per-view, Vince McMahon somberly announced Pillman's death on air. The next night, Raw featured an uncomfortable and widely criticized interview with his widow, Melanie Pillman. It was seen as exploitative, and fans, even at the time, found it inappropriate. Pillman's passing was a wake-up call to how poorly health was monitored behind the scenes. It was also one of the first deaths in a series that would shake the industry. Every name on this list